Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to learn about clavipectoral fascia. It is a part of deep fascia. Clavipectoral fascia is a part of deep fascia. It lies deep to clavicular head of pectoralis major muscle. It lies deep to clavicular head of pectoralis major muscle. This is pectoralis major. It lies deep to pectoralis major. Extent. Vertically, it extends from clavicle above to axillary fascia below. Vertically, it extends from clavicle above to axillary fascia below. Superiorly, it splits into two laminae to enclose subclavius muscle. Superiorly, it splits into two laminae to enclose subclavius muscle. Anterior lamina, it gets attached to anterior margin of the subclavian groove of the clavicle. Posterior lamina, it gets attached to posterior margin of the subclavian groove of the clavicle and it is continuous with investing layer of deep cervical fascia. Anterior lamina gets attached to anterior margin of subclavian groove of the clavicle. Posterior lamina gets attached to posterior margin of the subclavian groove of the clavicle and it is continuous with investing layer of deep cervical fascia. On the inferior surface of the clavicle, there is subclavian groove. Anterior lamina is attached to anterior margin of the subclavian groove. Posterior lamina is attached to posterior margin of the subclavian groove. Posterior lamina is continuous with investing layer of deep cervical fascia. Inferiorly, it splits to enclose pectoralis minor. Below this muscle, it extends downwards as suspensory ligament of axilla. Inferiorly, it splits to enclose pectoralis minor. Below this muscle, it extends down as suspensory ligament of axilla. Clavipectoral fascia extends downwards below the pectoralis minor as suspensory ligament of axilla. Suspensory ligament is attached to dome of axillary fascia. Suspensory ligament is attached to dome of axillary fascia. It keeps the dome of axillary fascia pulled up, thus maintaining the concavity of the axilla. It keeps the dome of the axillary fascia pulled up. Thus, it maintains the concavity of the axilla. Superiorly, it splits to enclose subclavius. Inferiorly, it splits to enclose pectoralis minor. Medially, it is attached to first rib and costoclavicular ligament and it blends with external intercostal membrane of upper two intercostal spaces. Medially, it is attached to first rib and costoclavicular ligament. Costoclavicular ligament. Medially, it is attached to first rib and costoclavicular ligament and it blends with external intercostal membrane of upper two intercostal spaces. This is external intercostal membrane. This is external intercostal muscle. From the lateral border of the sternum to costochondral junction, there is external intercostal membrane. From the costochondral junction to the vertebrae, there is external intercostal muscle. External intercostal membrane, also known as anterior intercostal membrane. Medially, clavipectoral fascia blends with external intercostal membrane of upper two intercostal spaces. Laterally, it is attached to coracoid process and it blends with coracoclavicular ligament. Laterally, it is attached to coracoid process and it blends with coracoclavicular ligament. Between the coracoid process of scapula and clavicle, coracoclavicular ligament. The upper part of clavipectoral fascia thickens to form costocoracoid ligament. From the first rib near the costochondral junction to coracoid process, costocoracoid ligament. Contents subclavius and pectoralis minor. Subclavius, pectoralis minor. Structures piercing the clavipectoral fascia. Lateral pectoral nerve, thoracoacromial artery, lymphatics from the breast to the apical group of axillary group lymph nodes, cephalic vein. So there are four structures piercing the clavipectoral fascia: one artery, one vein, one nerve, and lymphatics pierces the clavipectoral fascia. Write the word clavipectoral. C. Cephalic vein. Cephalic vein. LA. Lateral pectoral nerve. T. Thoracoacromial artery. thoracoacromial artery. L. Lymphatics. Lymphatics from the breast to the apical group of axillary group lymph nodes. Clavipectoral, C. Cephalic vein, LA. Lateral pectoral nerve, T. Thoracoacromial artery, L. Lymphatics from the breast to apical group of axillary group lymph nodes. First two structures pass outwards. Lateral pectoral nerve, thoracoacromial artery passes outwards. Thoracoacromial artery, lateral pectoral nerve passes outwards. Lower two structures pass inwards. Lymphatics, cephalic vein passes inwards. Cephalic vein, lymphatics passes inwards. Let us now revise clavipectoral fascia. It is a part of deep fascia. Vertically, it extends from clavicle above to axillary fascia below. Superiorly, it splits into two laminae to enclose subclavius. Anterior lamina is attached to anterior margin of the subclavian groove of the clavicle. Posterior lamina is attached to posterior margin of the subclavian groove of the clavicle. Posterior lamina is continuous with investing layer of deep cervical fascia. Inferiorly, it splits to enclose pectoralis minor. Below this muscle, it extends downwards towards the axillary fascia as suspensory ligament of axilla. Suspensory ligament of axilla is attached to dome of the axillary fascia. It keeps the dome of the axillary fascia pulled up, thus maintaining the concavity of the axilla. Medially, it is attached to first rib and costoclavicular ligament, and it blends with external intercostal muscle of upper two intercostal spaces. Laterally, it is attached to coracoid process and it blends with coracoclavicular ligament. The upper part of this fascia thickens to form costocoracoid ligament. Contents: subclavius pectoralis minor. Structures piercing through clavipectoral fascia are one artery, thoracoacromial artery, one vein, cephalic vein, one nerve, lateral pectoral nerve, lymphatics. Thoracoacromial artery and lateral pectoral nerve pass outwards. Cephalic vein and lymphatics from the breast to the axillary group of lymph nodes pass inwards.